Okay, so this video is a little bit about atheism and its current state and philosophy in America. Now, this is a warning. Basically, whatever I know about atheism, yes, I read the books and I try to speak to people outside of very specific communities, but I've learned at least a lot about atheism from the atheist community on Reddit.com, a subreddit. Now that is, how to put it, I wouldn't say they're the most developed groups or communities because they spend a lot of their time sort of just laughing about religion. And that's all well and good, but you're not going to convince many people just by pointing the finger and laughing. So this is besides the point, of course. Basically, some of the things they've been talking about in a bigger perspective that goes beyond their community into atheism in general. In the United States, they're trying to push to make, not everybody, but a lot of the community, especially the ones who are more zealous, I guess you could say, are trying to push for atheist rights. Now, at first, I didn't think anything of that really. I mean, it made sense, they believe in this, they should have the right to express it. That makes sense. Yeah, to some degree. Then I realized the difference between the atheist minority and other minorities is that a atheism is more of a choice. It's a rational philosophy or ideology, and it has equal protection under the law for expression in the United States. But at the same time, it's not the same sort of minority as a minority that can help being what they are and being oppressed for what they are. I mean, imagine if we were in the United States, and instead of atheism being the minority, instead we have, I don't know, the existentialists as the minority or something. They believe that all this stuff is fabricated and bullshit. Culture is relative, all this is relative, and we must make our own meaning. There is no ultimate more meaning. And everybody looks at existentialists and say, "Oh, we scold those kind of people. We don't like them. They're different. They don't believe in our values, etc." I mean, it would be a similar situation, but I think it's more clear there that these people aren't born existentialists, just like atheists aren't born atheists. It's not that they don't have as much of a right to express themselves. It's just harder to make a case for them because they look like you and me. They are you and me. They're just everyday people. So instead of having an outright minority like the black suffrage movement, the women's rights, or even contemporarily speaking, gay rights, these things are these people are who they are, and they're being oppressed for it. I don't know if you can make the same case with atheism. People see atheism differently. They see it as just, well, they believe this. It's a belief. It's not part of their nature. So I feel like this may be one of the problems why atheism is having trouble being as recognized in the United States. And of course, they've been making progress. Obama recently mentioned atheists in his inauguration speech. Muslims, Christians, and non-believers. Non-believers. There you go. The fact that he mentioned that is sort of saying, look, we're part of the global world now. We kind of understand that we're not all as religious as we used to be. In fact, most of the industrialized world isn't, except for the United States in this fashion. So, I think they have the right idea of expressing themselves more, but they're pushing for, at least some of them seem to be, pushing for this sort of, we demand equal rights. Yes, they do, but I think they might do a better job at showing how they should get equal rights if they took more of the positivist stance with Christianity and our culture in general. Instead of pushing and demanding for rights, perhaps they should take their right of expression that they already have and start using it in creative ways. I mean, other minorities have, protests, standing and being who they are and showing it. They should do that, but they should do other things too, like going off and writing books and doing activities, doing public seminars. They should actually just get involved with mainstream culture. Try to show them they're normal people, and they are. I feel like they just sort of need this more colloquial connection to the larger society. They have to show people that they're not weird. They're just normal like us. Everybody, there's some degree of normality here that we all kind of share, um, and that the Christians in general have sort of demonized them, and for the most part, they sort of have. And secondly, the infantile, not infantile, but I guess you could say the adolescent reactions they have, or responses they have to the religious community. You got to learn how to work with the religious community. They are the majority. We don't want to make all religious people evil, or else we're just being as equally oppressive as the religious peoples are to the atheists. And it's no excuse for us to say, well, they've been doing it to us, so why can't we do that to them and show the world what's going on? You have to be the better guy here. You know what I mean? You have to be the better person, and sort of be constructive and creative and compassionate with your rationality. I think a degree of compassion is needed, and not just um, contempt or even disdain for the religious. If you have serious problems with them, and out of your own compassionate will to help them out and help the world in general, and speak out for yourself, and apply to these bigger principles without needing any kind of supernatural deity involved. So, well, anyway, that's what I feel that needs to get done more with atheism if they really want to be heard more, and taken more seriously in countries like the United States, where it's very difficult to move beyond very different, very ethnocentric cultural lenses. And okay, I guess that's about it.